All right, how's everyone doing? So I wanted to talk about if you have limited time to practice, what one can practice. I'm not saying for you to practice this, but for me, I practice some form of this every day, bar none, and that is working through inversions and the appropriate scales. And I call them the rule of five because essentially they're just five chords, and I just do them horizontally, not vertically, and with their inversions and then the corresponding scale. So let me use it by way of this. Let me use the G major 7 as the chord. So I start off here, sometimes on the third fret, sometimes on the second. And I'll explain this. So if I start off on the third fret, most people recognize this G major 7 form with the root over here. Okay? Okay, so you've got this. And then the next chord is going to be also G major 7, an inversion. It's going to look like this. The root's here. So you've got, this is 1, this is 2, it's G major 7, okay? And then the third one is also an inversion. The root's here. It's this G on the B string, 8th fret. So you've got 1, 2, you got 3. And I call this one 4. And then the fifth one looks like this, 5. Okay? And then 4, the root's here. And then the fifth one, the root's on the G string. Okay? So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then it goes back and repeats on the 1. And the guitar is a beautiful instrument, it keeps repeating itself. Now, if you really wanted to start at the lowest possible note, you would start with this one, which would be the open G as the root. This is the same as this. So you could start. Starts repeating itself. But for the purposes of this, let's just say you start off with the third fret, root on the G. So I'm sorry about that. It sounds like that. All right. Then what I do is overlay the appropriate scales to that chord or that chord inversion. And all an inversion is just a different ordering of the 1, 3, 5, 7. There's no flats in this, so every note is either the it's 1, 3, 5, 7. That's what we have. And it's 1, 7, 3, 5. Okay? 1735, think about it this way. So the scale will look something like this, that most people know. So I'll hit the chord, then the scale. That's part of the scale too. That's F sharp right there. So second note, sorry, I should say the second chord, the way we did it was with the root over here, G. That scale pattern that I use looks like this. I don't start with the root there, but you got the idea. Again, I'm gonna go a little bit slower. So second. Okay, that's that. So you've got first, then hit the scale, second, hit the scale, then, okay. This one for me, the way most guitarists learn this, they learn this scale. G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. But I start off right here with the B. also improvise and play around with it. So again, you've got this. Second with root here. Third. Okay, then the fourth is this. Root right here. That's a G. And most guitar players learn this. Actually, a lot of people do this. I like to do it this way. If you wanted to take it down lower, so again, you've got this one chord, inversion, third inversion, fourth, and then this one. Okay, the root's here. It's at the G. That's the root right here. So you could also play stuff like. And then the scale looks like this. Okay, and then so go. And then you start off at the beginning again. Same G major 7th you had here. Okay, so I mean, there you have it. I mean, that's just a way of organizing the fretboard into these 5 chords. And like I said before, that you can start off with the third, or you can start with the, if I started here, which is essentially this, I'd probably play the scale. The F sharp is almost like the bass, like that. So it's kind of a neat way to organize my playing. And so I'll start off, that's just G major. You can do that for all your chords. So in essence, if I were to do this again, but instead of doing G major, let's just say I was doing A major 7th. You know, I would start off and it'll look something more like this. Let me get this in the mirror. That's an A major 7. That would be that. And then this. Okay. There you go. So just 5 chords, organized way of horizontally mapping out the fretboard with your chords and your scales. Yeah, it's just a neat way. It kind of gets my fingers going. It gets my knowledge a little bit going. And try a different chord each time. I did the G major 7th. I could do A major 7th. I could do F major 7th. I could do that. You can do the same concept with minors like that, and then you move it and learn your inversions. I'll tell you, to me, that's one of the biggest game changers, was actually really, really learning and trying to work with my inversions. It just made me approach the guitar in a whole different way. So as usual, practice and practice and practice some more.